You slide out of your mother onto the ground, somewhere high in the mountains of Central Asia. A few minutes pass and your mother gives birth to your sister, but just 2 days later, she dies. Your mother eats her body to keep herself fed without having to leave you. You don't even notice, though. That's because you're blind. A week later, your eyes finally open, and the first thing you see is your mother leaving the den, then returning with something small hanging from her jaws. It's a fresh kill, but you can't walk yet, so all you do is watch. Skip forward to when you're 2 months old. Your legs are finally strong enough to follow your mom outside. She walks slowly, checking the slopes before letting you leave the den. You sink into the snow with each step, but she stays close, ready to grab you if you fall. Then you spot something moving ahead, a squirrel. You crouch and start walking toward it, copying what you've seen her do. The squirrel doesn't notice you, so you take another step, ready to run. But your mother appears beside you and blocks your path. She grabs you by the scruff, carries you back to the den, and drops you near the wall. You don't fight it. You lie still and stare at the snow outside the entrance. You know that soon you'll have to do more than follow her. Skip forward and you're 3 months old now. You follow your mother through the snow, watching how she hunts and gets food. She moves quietly across the ridge until she spots a herd of blue sheep in the distance. They're feeding close to the cliffs, scraping through the snow to reach dry grass. Your mother crouches low and starts moving toward them, with her steps careful and slow, but you stay where you are. You know that if you follow too close, you'll ruin her hunt, so you press your body to the ground and wait. She gets closer and closer. The blue sheep still haven't noticed her. Then she bursts forward. The herd runs with their hooves hitting the rocks, but one stumbles. Your mother leaps and lands on it, her jaws locking around its throat. She kills it quickly by cutting off oxygen. You walk toward her as she drags the body to the side of a tree. She rips open the neck and begins to feed. You watch carefully, studying every movement she makes. She doesn't waste a bite, and when she's done, she steps back and lets you eat what's left. The meat is cold and heavy in your mouth, but it's your first taste of real food, and soon you're going to have to learn how to get it on your own. You're 1 year old now. You and your mother stalk a mountain goat that's feeding near a cliff. You stay low, moving quietly through the snow, and the goat keeps its head down, unaware of you. Your mother looks at you, then walks around to the other side. She's trying to cut off its escape. You crouch lower and wait for her to get into position. When she's ready, she gives a quiet growl. That's your sign to go. You step out and move toward the goat, forcing it to run straight in her direction. The moment it starts running, your mother bursts forward. She jumps from behind a tree and lands square on its back. The force sends both of them rolling down a few meters. When they stop, she bites into its neck and holds until it goes still. The hunt is over. You walk closer as she drags the carcass into cover. You start tearing into the meat while she watches the slope around you. A few seconds later, you hear something in the distance. It's a deep and steady growl that doesn't belong to either of you. You look up and see a wolf standing in the distance. This is bad news because wolves never travel alone, so there must be more of them coming. And then you see them, more shapes emerging from behind the first one, 5 in total, moving down slowly, surrounding the both of you. Your mother growls but doesn't attack. She knows fighting 5 wolves means death. The food isn't worth it. She nudges you to back off, but one wolf snaps at you, so she charges with claws hitting the snow, forcing it back. Then another moves closer, so she pulls away again before they surround her. She pushes through the space between 2 of them, and you follow fast. The wolves bark but don't chase. You walk until their howls fade behind you. The meal is gone, but you survived against a pack of 5. That's the only victory that matters. Skip forward and you're 1 year and 6 months old now. Your mother has changed. She's in heat again and no longer treats you like her cub. When she catches something small, she eats alone and growls if you try to get close. You understand what that means. She's ready to raise new cubs, and you're now competition, not family. So you leave. You walk across ridges for days, following the wind through empty valleys. The snow gets thinner the farther you go. You stop at streams to drink and sleep under rocks at night, always moving and searching for a place without another snow leopard's scent. Finally, you find an open stretch of cliffs. You walk the perimeter, rubbing your face on the rocks, hoping it can be yours. But then you spot movement ahead. A big male steps out from behind a boulder. His shoulders are twice your size and his head wide and scarred. As soon as he sees you, he starts walking forward. You freeze, not sure whether to run.
Stand your ground or run. But after taking a second look at him, you realize how outmatched you are. His scent alone is enough to tell you this land already belongs to him. You turn and start running. The sound of his paws hits behind you, but he doesn't chase far. By the time you stop, the mountains are silent again. You're alone, but hunger drives you to hunt. You haven't eaten in days, so you look for something small, anything that won't waste too much energy if it escapes. You find a marmot near a rocky slope, digging in the dirt. You crouch and creep closer, but it turns and spots you. You think you failed, but instead of running, it collapses onto its back and freezes. You blink, confused, then move in and bite its neck. It doesn't fight. You eat until your stomach doesn't feel like it's going to eat itself. It's not much, but it keeps you moving, and now your journey starts again. You're 3 years old now. You found your territory a long time ago and settled into it. The cliffs, trees, and valleys all smell like you. But food has been harder to get lately. Every time you go after big prey, something goes wrong. Marmots run away before you can even get close, and mountain goats vanish over rocks you can't reach. For weeks, you failed every hunt. But today is different. You spot a blue sheep grazing near a slope. It's far from its herd, and the snow muffles your steps. You creep closer, each paw sinking in silence. When it finally raises its head, you're already too close. You launch forward and slam into it with your claws cutting deep. The animal falls hard, and you clamp your jaws around its neck until it stops moving. You finally have a kill. You start tearing into its body, ripping through thick fur and meat. Then the ground starts shaking. You look up and see a brown bear climbing down the slope towards you. It's massive, much larger and heavier than you. You know you can't win this fight, so you step back and run, leaving the kill behind. But you don't go far. You stop behind the trees and watch. The bear grabs your kill in its jaws and walks away. You follow from a distance, staying quiet. After a while, the bear reaches a patch of forest and drops the carcass. Then it lies down on its back, resting. You crouch low, thinking about how to take your food back. Then another thought hits you. What if you killed the bear while it slept? So you walk closer until you're almost beside it. Then you bite hard into its neck. The bear roars and rears up, but its strength fades fast. It collapses backward and goes still. You stand over the body, breathing heavily, and realize what you just did. You killed a brown bear, your first real victory. But the mountains never let you win for long. Something else will come. Skip forward again, and you're 4 years old now. One morning, a new smell rides the wind. It's sharp and fresh. It's another male. He's been marking the same rocks you use. You know what that means. A challenge. You start moving along the ridge, following the scent trail until you see him. He's standing on a narrow ledge across the valley. His coat is darker and he looks heavier and older, but you've grown since last winter. You crouch low and begin moving along the edge. He spots you and starts walking too. The space between you shrinks, filled only by low growls that echo against the cliffs. You both know what's coming. He lunges first. You charge to meet him with your claws scraping against stone. The impact knocks both of you sideways. You bite into his shoulder, teeth grinding through fur and muscle. You slip once, but keep your footing while he slides a few steps down the slope. You're both breathing hard now. Blood runs down your side, but you keep standing. This is your territory, and you won't give it up. So you walk toward him again, slow but steady. He growls and lifts his paw, but he doesn't move forward. He knows that if you attack again, he'll die. You stare at him for a moment. He breaks eye contact, lowers his head, and starts backing away. You stay still, watching as he turns around and limps off through the snow until he disappears behind the rocks. Then you walk back to your scrape site and spray the rock. Your ribs hurt, but you won. You didn't need to kill him. You only had to make him understand what happens if he stays. You're 5 years old now. Winter has covered the mountains in deep snow, and every step sinks you to the ankles. As you walk along a narrow path, you spot a mark in the snow ahead. You walk closer and smell it. It's from a female. Her scent is fresh, so she must be close. You start tracking it, following one mark after another along the mountain slope. You find her paw prints in the snow and follow them higher. Sometimes the trail fades, but the scent always returns. 2 days later, you finally see her. She's smaller than you, and her coat is darker around the neck. She stares for a moment, then lowers her head. She doesn't run. You approach carefully, and she stays still. For a week, you move together through the mountains. You hunt at night, rest during the day, and mate whenever she calls. The wind still cuts through the rocks, but the cold doesn't feel as sharp now. One night, you kill a blue sheep and drag the body close to her den. She eats first while you stand nearby, watching the snow drift past. When she's done, you eat too. The meat is frozen and tough, but for once it feels worth the effort. Then, as the days pass, her scent starts to fade. She climbs higher each morning, and you follow until you can't anymore. She doesn't look back. Her tracks stretch up the slope until the wind erases them. You stay still for a while, staring at where she disappeared. Then you walk back to the same spot where you first found her. The mountain is silent again, but you don't dwell on it for long. There will be more females when next winter comes, and you'll be stronger then. You're 8 years old now. One day you smell something that isn't yours. It's fresh urine on a rock. You think it's another female, so you follow the trail up a narrow path. But what you find isn't a female. It's a male standing on the edge of a cliff. You lower your head and walk forward, but he hears you and turns around. He's younger and stronger. He looks straight at you and starts walking closer. You stay still, trying to look confident, but he doesn't stop. He growls once and then rushes forward. You push back, both of you locking together and rolling in the snow. The cliff is only a few steps away. You try to twist and bite, but he hits harder. You lose your footing, sliding backward as the edge crumbles under your weight. You grab at the ground with your claws, trying to pull yourself up, but he slams his shoulder into your chest. You slip and fall. You crash into the rocks below. The impact knocks the air from your lungs, and your body goes still. The young male looks down from above. He steps closer to the edge and starts peeing. The urine falls and lands on your body. He marks the mountain as his own, then turns and walks away. Life as a snow leopard might be rough, but there's another animal out there that has it way worse. Trust me, it's wild. Check out the video and see